Hello! How is everybody today? Today is Tuesday, which means it's date night for me and Jake, which means, yay, exciting times in the Frady house. We love it. We live for it. We're here. I actually did my makeup for the first time in like 2 weeks, which is big for me because date night. However, I didn't wash my hair because we're put together, but we're not put together, you know. Been riding the struggle bus hard the last few days. So, what better way to bring a little bit of excitement and something to look forward to at the end of our nice little date night dinner than dessert? This is episode 5 of my Disney DIY, cooking our way through the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook, and on the agenda today is fritters. So fritters are a nice sweet little dessert snack thing, and they are made with a choux pastry. Now I have made choux pastry before. As you will recall, we made cream puffs and they were delicious. We love it. But these are going to be actually fried, so they're going to be a little bit different, I feel like, because cream puffs were like hollow on the inside and when you fill them with cream. But I think these are just, I don't know, I've never had them before, so that'll be exciting to see how they turn out. So if you're following along with your Unofficial Disney Parks cookbook, you'll notice that I actually skipped a couple recipes to get to the fritters, and that is A, because I cannot find the product. It is literally non-existent in my town, at least in the quantities that I need, and 2, the simplicity. And that's no fault at all. I love this cookbook. The first recipe that I skipped was the pork belly skewers, and that is the impossible to find product in the quantity that I need. Since it's just me and Jake at the house, I was gonna have the recipe just do like a pound versus the 2 that the recipe calls for. And I can't find that. Does not exist around here, cannot be sold to me in that small of a quantity, and it's a little bit pricey, so I just opted to nix it, because it's just pork belly and Hoisin sauce, and you just cook it, grill it, super easy. And the next recipe after that was safari skewers, which was kind of a similar situation as far as being fairly simplistic. It was just asparagus wrapped in thick cut bacon and grilled. So for entertainment value and sustenance, I just opted to gloss over those because they are straightforward, and if you want to see them, I can do Instagram reels if I am able to find pork belly that someone will sell to me that is not in a 10-pound slab. So I also skipped beignets because I already made Mickey Mouse beignets from the recipe that is on the Disney Food Blog website. So we're skipping that because they are essentially fairly similar, a little bit different, but for consistency and variety on my channel purposes, I'm not making them. So now we are on to fritters. I'm excited, yay. Okay, that is enough rambling for one afternoon. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started on these fritters. Okay, so first things first, she suggests heating up your oil first and then doing everything for the fritters after that. However, I have not like a fear, but just kind of like a uncomfortability with leaving a giant pot of oil sitting for 20-30 minutes without supervision. So I'm not doing that yet. But if you would like to get started on that part first, go right ahead. Make sure your oil is heated to 375 degrees. I'm getting the dough together first. I have a pot here. I'm going to turn my heat on to about medium. I have 1 cup of water and 4 tablespoons of salted butter. Okay, now she said that the water needed to be boiling, and I've not made choux that way before. Anytime I've made choux, I've just combined the water and the butter, let it come to a boil, add the flour and salt and sugar or whatever else you're adding to your water mixture, and you just beat the heck out of it until it forms a cohesive ball. So she is saying that you combine the butter, water, flour, and salt all together and stir continuously until a smooth ball forms and the dough pulls away from the sides of the pan about 4 minutes. I don't think with unmelted butter, because this says it's supposed to be cold butter, that will come together. So for me, I am combining the butter and the water, and then when that comes to a boil and the butter is melty, we'll add the flour. Does that make sense? Her ingredients, my method, just because that's what I know, and in my mind, doing it this way will not work. But maybe if I had started with my water already boiling, but then the butter wouldn't be melted because it's supposed to be cold. I don't know. I don't know. So we're leaving it up to interpretation, and for interpretation's sakes, this is what we're doing. Okay, our water has now come up to a boil, simmer, whatever, so we're going to add 1 cup of flour, and we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. We're just going to stir this until a cohesive ball forms. We're keeping it on the heat, so we're cooking out the flour flavor. All right, so there is our dough ball. Ta-da, 1 cohesive ball of dough. We're gonna let this cool for about 10 minutes or so and then move on to step 2. So I put our choux dough in my food processor. It's still a little warm, but it's been 10 minutes or over at this point. So I have 4 large eggs here. You're gonna have to ignore the sound of my oil. It's heating up. Pop in. So I have 4 large eggs here, and I'm gonna take 1 and add it in here, and I have my blade attachment in the food processor. The lid on and pulse it till it comes together, and we're going to add the eggs 1 at a time, pulsing until they're fully incorporated. Okay, my little hot plate was not getting hot enough to keep the oil at 375, so I moved it over to my stove. Here is our combined dough mixture. I'm going to fry this in our oil about 4 minutes, rotating it to make sure it gets evenly browned. And then we're going to cool it on a plate lined with paper towels. And I'll show you what to do last. Okay, so here are the fritters, lovely, nice golden brown. I have a bowl. This is 1 cup of granulated sugar. So I'm just gonna toss them around in here while they're still warm but drained of oil. And voila, look at that beauty. All right, let's give her a try. Still hot, but so good. I was curious how it would taste with not having any sugar in the dough, because typically when I make choux, I add just like a little bit of sugar into it just to give it some taste besides just dough, just to give it a little extra sweetness. But with the sugar coating on the outside, which kind of like it's crystallized and like hardens onto the pastry with the sugar, it's really good. Mm. Whew. Whew. Hot. I could probably stand to cook the next batch just a little bit longer. These ones are just ever so slightly doughy still, but oh man, this would be so good with like a hot fudge sauce or like a caramel. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Whew. Mm. Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So great. Great. I'm gonna give these an 8 out of 10. They're really delicious. They're really delicious. I would probably make them again. I think you could probably add some cinnamon to your sugar and have like a nice cinnamon sugar. I think that would add a little bit of depth to it, so it's not just so like one note. I think that you could add maybe like a little bit of like cocoa to it if you wanted to, some cocoa powder, and like give it a nice like chocolatey dusting. These are really good. I think I would still take a beignet over a fritter personally, but different strokes for different folks. But I'm going to finish frying up the rest of these bad boys and have them ready for when Jay gets home in just a little bit. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and until next time.